Editorial Rebuttal to PM Rowley's statement on high level of violent crime in Trinidad and Tobago, Accountability and Leadership, an editorial by Professor Wall Street. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley's recent statement on the spiraling murder rate in Trinidad and Tobago has sparked significant debate. While the Prime Minister acknowledges the failure of the state and security agencies in combating violent crime, he simultaneously distances himself from direct responsibility, despite his role as the leader of the National Security Council, NSC. This stance is problematic for several reasons. Firstly, as the head of the NSC, Dr. Rowley holds a pivotal position in shaping and implementing national security policies. The NSC is tasked with monitoring matters related to defense and national security, and it is chaired by the Prime Minister himself. This role inherently involves a high level of responsibility and accountability for the outcomes of security measures. By attempting to deflect blame, Dr. Rowley undermines the very essence of his leadership position. The persistent high murder rate, which has seen over 600 deaths attributed to violence for the second consecutive year, is a clear indicator of systemic issues within the national security framework. Effective leadership requires not only the allocation of resources, but also the strategic oversight to ensure these resources are utilized efficiently. The Prime Minister's acknowledgement of the state's failure without taking personal accountability suggests a disconnect between leadership and operational execution. Dr. Rowley's appeal to citizens to stop normalizing criminal conduct and to hold criminals accountable is a valid point, but insufficient on its own. While community involvement is crucial, it cannot replace the need for robust, proactive measures from the government. The Prime Minister's role is to lead by example, demonstrating a commitment to tackling crime through comprehensive policies, improved law enforcement strategies, and ensuring that the justice system functions effectively. Moreover, the Prime Minister's statement that even the significant efforts of the national security agencies have not deterred the criminal minds reflects a troubling resignation to the status quo. It is the responsibility of the NSC under Dr. Rowley's leadership to innovate and adapt strategies to effectively combat crime. This includes addressing root causes such as poverty, unemployment, and lack of education, which are often linked to higher crime rates. The Prime Minister's disappointment in the police force's performance is another area of concern. While it is true that the police must do more, it is equally important for the government to provide the necessary support and resources. This includes better training, improved technology, and adequate funding. Blaming the police without addressing these fundamental issues is both unfair and counterproductive. Furthermore, Dr. Rowley's call for households to get involved in increasing safety and security, while important, should not overshadow the government's primary responsibility. Citizens can play a supportive role, but the onus is on the government to create an environment where law enforcement can operate effectively and where justice is served swiftly and fairly. The Prime Minister's statement also highlights a need for a more coordinated approach to crime prevention. This involves not just the police, but also social services, education, and community organizations working together to create a holistic strategy. The NSC, under Dr. Rowley's leadership, should be at the forefront of this effort, ensuring that all relevant agencies are working in unison towards a common goal. In conclusion, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley cannot absolve himself of responsibility for the high murder rate in Trinidad and Tobago. As the leader of the NSC, he must take full accountability for the current state of national security. True leadership involves owning the challenges and working tirelessly to address them, rather than shifting blame. The citizens of Trinidad and Tobago deserve a leader who acknowledges their concerns and takes decisive action to create a safer nation. The Prime Minister's role is not just to oversee, but to inspire confidence in the government's ability to protect its citizens. This requires transparency, accountability, and a relentless commitment to improving the safety and security of the nation. Only then can Trinidad and Tobago hope to see a meaningful reduction in violent crime and a restoration of public trust in its leaders.